All right, today we're going to learn about how to wash your brushes. So one of the first key things is you want to have 2 water bins, and the first water bin is kind of your dirty water, and the second one is your rinsing water. So what you want to do is, say you start, maybe you get your brush wet to get started. Sometimes you don't want to do that. Let's say you're doing like a nice orange or something and you painting, and then when you rinse, now some people would just leave it in there. I used to work like this. This is actually the worst thing to do. So what happens is if you leave it in here, the water goes all the way up into where the glue meets the brush, and then you're gonna have all your hog hair or whatever kind of bristles you're gonna have are gonna come out into your painting, and the brush is gonna get destroyed. It's just gonna get killed by that, by leaving. So what you wanna do is, scrub that brush all the way down to the bottom so you get all the color out of the bristles, and then go to your cleaning water and it should come out clean. And then you leave it on the side. Always leave it flat like this, so when it dries the water isn't getting into the bristles here. So when it's flat, the water's just dripping off like that, versus if it's vertical like this in the water, that water is just getting in there, so that's the worst case scenario. You don't want to have that. So you dry it out. So each time what you're going to do, you mix a different color, do a more red this time, and then you're going to rinse it out. You can see here it's getting dirty. And then rinse in your clean water and leave it out. So you're going to have, see, this is going to remain pretty clean, and the only thing you really need to change is this water. So if you can actually, if you need more water, you just take it from your dirty brush, and it's not going to really change the color. So if I add from here, it's still orange, this one's still red, etc. So that's how you use your brushes. Now let's go over to the sink and show you how to wash the brushes. All right, so we're back at the sink. Now we're going to show you how to clean this brush. So you want to get all the color out of that, and then you want to use like Palm. Here I have generic Palm, Dove, whatever. So put a little bit in there. Really work it into the brush, and then rinse it. And you want to keep rinsing till all the color is gone. The second thing what you want to use is, you want to use this stuff, brush cleaner. So you get your brush cleaner, and then you want to work that in to the brush. And so what that does is that really conditions the brush. So over time you're going to have a really clean brush. Now you have this glass palette. I'll show you how to clean that as well. So what I like to do is I use this to get off the first pass, and then on the second pass you want to use a razor blade. So let's take the first pass, and then what I do is I have, so you can see the colors here, and I'm going to store it in this dirty water. So hopefully that's mostly clean. Now on your second pass, you want to use this, and hopefully you guys can see this. So you have this at an angle, and you just kind of, scrub it off, and you want to go over the whole surface of your glass palette. So, and sometimes you're going to have to hit the backside as well. So you get random paint. And for your dirty water, what you want to do is have especially for acrylic, dirty water storage. So what this allows you kind of avoid clogging up your sink. And so I also have inside the sink one of these. So if you get them brand new, they look like this. And so that's a nice strainer, and then over time they're going to catch a lot of the paint, and eventually that'll clog up and you'll have to throw them out. So I have a whole stock of those. and that'll really save your drains. So you don't want to have that paint going down your drain because it will clog up all your plumbing eventually, because it is glue based kind of paint, right? All right, so your final stage, what you want to do is dry the brushes. So you got your brush, it's already clean, nice and dry, conditioned, and you just want to lay it flat. Now, they sell these things at the art store, and then, you know, you just put it like that. That's a mistake. So what's going to happen over time is, since you're holding that upright like this, all that water is just going to seep into the bristles, and these are going to come out eventually. So always make sure to lay it dry when you dry, and then once it's dry, you can hang it up like this. This is okay when it's fully dry after a day, which I like to use just to keep my brushes there. And you know, obviously there's a little tin in here for turpentine, but I don't use it since I'm using acrylic. So definitely make sure you dry these flat, and make sure you wash your brush after each use of color. You don't want that color in there. It's going to dry out and ruin the brush. So you want to get the color out there as soon as possible. It's a real pain in the ass to work in acrylic that way, but the trade-off is you get to paint a lot faster. You can finish a painting in a day easily if you're good. So that's what I recommend.